Okay, so this is part two of the year-ended report for December 18th, 2010. First time on camera, and where I left off before it actually shut off on me automatically, which I didn't know you had 14 minutes to run your goddamn mouth. Now I know. Women in 2010. Oh, this is gonna be a good long one. This is gonna probably be about a good little three or four blogs. So in the inside of wanting to look for another job, it comes into the women. For 2010, there were, let's see, one, two, and then the other two or three or four are come to towards the end of the year. Well, towards the end of my report, put it like that. Um, I don't want to put her name out there as usual, or their names out there, but I'll go with the initials TAKITA2. Well, no, I don't think I want to put TA2 in this one. We'll just go from that one. Because, people watch this shit. Anyway, so I decided I want to get another job. And I wanted it to be in driving because this was the field of my father, Noble the Second. This is what he was in for a few years or whatever. Sorry. So I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to do? I want to actually transport people, or do I want to actually be a truck driver? So I thought about what fields I can get into on this one. Um, so I came to the conclusion. I look around and I work for a company where they transport patients back and forth to dialysis. Still, I don't want to say their name because I don't want no goddamn problems. Um, at the same time, I knew a woman that worked there, and I really did have a crush on her. And as a result of it, I probably did a stupid thing, and went back and because at the same time, for a lot of you guys that don't know, I do music, in my part time. So it's like, okay, well, I want to write a song about her, just like describing how I feel every time I see her and shit like that. Cause like this is one of the women. She was just right. She was probably about like 5'2", 5'3", probably like 150 pounds, and she was right in all the right places. But she, God damn it, for hell, she was super light skinned. But I liked her though, cause she had beautiful eyes and everything, and beautiful smile, and she was perfect. So I went back and wrote this for her, and it was like the name of it was "Loss of Words." So well, that's it on that one. But yeah. So I wrote that for her and everything, and I'm like, well, this is one I'll probably never finish until I actually hook up with her. You know, and that's what I was thinking at the time. So I went back and worked on that, and like I went to her because the job that she was doing was exactly what I wanted to be doing, was transporting. So I fill out the application and everything like that, and nothing went good with that one. Make a long story short, nothing happened. As far as like the job goes, and as far as like the woman go. But with the woman, you know, I tried my best to be a good man with her. And see, this is the deal that I hate with women now. So many women complain, bitch and moan, bitch and moan. There ain't no good man out here. All I want is a good man that's gonna be a gentleman towards me and do nice things for me, open up doors for me, open up, and blah blah blah, pull out my chair for me and shit, and goddamn me, take off their coat and put it over a puddle so I can walk across it. You don't know what the fuck you want. Notice how my facial impressions change real quick because I'm telling the truth. So I go about my way, and I kind of sort of break my neck trying to find her a nice little place here in St. Louis or whatever. She settled down with her son. So I finally found a good spot in a beautiful neighborhood. If you ever been on Kings Highway and Magnolia, which you know is right across the street from Tower Grove Park, quiet South Side neighborhood in the city at that. You know, really hard to find good spots in the city for real. And the rent ain't number like $650 a month for a 2 bedroom apartment compared to what the fuck I pay right now. $750 for a motherfucking 1 bedroom a goddamn apartment. But it's still the shit though. You know, it's hard to do. You know, it is even at the point that I actually found a 3 bedroom apartment for her. Because at the time, thinking stupid was gonna break my lease, move in with her, $750 a month. You know, 3 bedroom, fireplace and 2 rooms, hardwood floors without throughout it and everything. But it was right there at Columbia and South Kings Highway. Still a good ass neighborhood. 2 blocks away from Magnolia. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Um, she didn't want it. I'm looking at my time right now. See how much time I got before the next part three. But anyway, she didn't want it and everything. You know, I kind of broke my neck, and I'm telling this guy that like, yeah, she's gonna come look at it and everything, and blah blah blah. She's gonna be interested, and she's gonna put down the money, and all of a sudden, boom, she's gonna move in. No. So on top of that, you know, not being able to get the job and shit at the spot where I wanted to be at, I moved on to the next. Remember, this is a guy who went back, upgraded his license from an F to an E. F is a regular standard driver in St. Louis. I mean, in all of Missouri, put it like that. E for higher, aka commercial. And if you go higher than that, C, B, A, commercial. True commercial, big rigging commercial. Of course, none of this never worked out, you know. But I got my class E. Then I try to go into the profession where I know profession. If I said it right, I'm sorry. Try to go into the field where I knew I was really talented at and truly trained and knew every fucking thing about it, which is being a sweeper truck driver. Filled out the application for it, nothing happened. Despite the fact of knowing that, okay, well, this is a guy who has also trained people, who's also, you know, operated them and knows what the fuck he's doing. Didn't hire a motherfucker. So, you know, this is where I'm gonna get into my current job, Moby. So one day I was sitting up here in my living room, and I was looking out the window. Then out of the window, I saw a blue truck go by with a pink elephant on the side of it. And a lot of you on Facebook have already seen that picture of that blue truck that I'm in. And something in the back of my mind said, "Follow the pink elephant." So I went outside, and I asked the driver. Right now, me and the driver are really good friends, along with a whole lot of other drivers and warehouse people that I met now, and maybe some office people. You know, and I asked, well, you know, are you guys hiring? Because I'm looking to get into another field. Oh yeah, you know, going down to the warehouse, blah blah blah, which is not even too far from where I live right now, and I fill out an application. So I went down, filled out the application and everything, and I left early because they took my application and disappeared on me. Like, okay, where the fuck they go? Well, I'm gonna go home because I don't think I got this job. So no sooner than I walk through the door, I get a phone call. Hey, you took off too early. Come on back down here so we can have an interview. Right back out the door, gone. You know, so I get down there, we go through the interview and everything, and I'm looking around at the other guys that's in the warehouse, and they're looking at me like as if I'm in the zoo. You know, they're looking, pointing, laughing, and shit like that. You're like, okay, well, what are these guys thinking? So finally, I get the interview and everything, and I sit down with the vice president of operations, and at the time, the warehouse supervisor. You guys know his name and everything, and we go through the interview phase, and I'm not sure what to expect out of it, you know. So go home and go back to that old job at door, and I'm just sitting around. I'm praying on it. I'm like, "Oh, Lord, you've done a lot for me so far. You got me through trying times. You got me through troubled times. You got me through the great times, and you got me through the shitty times. But Father in heaven, all I look for right now is just a chance to get into another field. The field that I feel I should be into because I know it's in my blood." So a Friday afternoon, I'm sitting around the house. And mind you, at door, I was off on Tuesdays and Fridays. Um, Sitting around the house, and this is true story. I if any of y'all have ever been to my place before, I've actually had a rim here that had a tire on it. Well, I was so desperate for money at one time that I actually started cutting the tire off the rim so I can take the rim to the recycling plant. And just so happened, let me show you how the grace of God works. As I got through cutting that tire off, because I didn't get all of the tire off, which it was still gonna give me shit about it, I get a phone call, and it's from Moby, and a gentleman on the end of the phone says, "Do you still want the job?" And I'm like, "Yes." "Well, come on down here and piss in a cup for me." Out the door I went down there, pissed in the cup. Next thing you know, I'm working at a new job. And still at door. Um, so I'm working door and Moby at the same time and everything. And, I got all these training days because I'm a full time employed there. Thank God, started off at a pretty good amount of money, more than I was making at door. Way more than I was making at door. And I have these training days where I have to go out and actually run routes with the driving supervisor and everything, which is another cool ass dude. But at the same time, what I'm also skipping over is like at the same time when I got pulled in with the supervisor to hire me, another guy got promoted in that supervisor's position. And he's on my page and everything. He's one of my friends on my Facebook page, and you know, seriously, you are about the most best supervisor that I've ever worked with, besides, of course, myself. But and I appreciate you, you know, because you made it for me, knowing that I can work in an environment and not have to worry about whether I'm gonna step on somebody's toes just by saying a joke. I can joke with you and you'll joke right back to me, and I appreciate that. That's what makes you the best supervisor so far that I know of. I got about a minute left before I have to start part three, but just bear with me though. So I started in here, and I'm really trying to work myself around these new people and everything, trying to figure everybody out, making new good friends. Hopefully, I think they're my friends. I hope you are my friends, or you know, and at the same time, I'm going back to door, and I'm telling myself I don't really give a shit about door anymore. Matter of fact, I'm waiting for one motherfucker to piss me off, and I'm up out of here. Reason why I said that, okay, here's this. This is why I say this. While I was at door, and remember I touched on the situation where I thought my friends that were my supervisors were my friend or not really my friends. You know, some of them having issues with me talking to the women. I'm sorry, I'm watching the little clock here so I can be able to tell you to say, hold on. But you know, a lot of them having, like, I want to call it territorial issues. And and another one is like just fucking with somebody just to be fucking with them, and that ain't right because you never know what the next man is fucking thinking before you fuck with them. Because I was going through a lot. You know, it was serious what I was going through. Hold on, part three coming up. Clock on the wall.